Let's begin with Venezuela. Their captured leader, Nicolás Maduro, has been brought to court in Manhattan to face criminal drug charges, along with his wife, Celia Flores. Now, it is being said that criminal defense attorney David Wikstrom will represent them in court. Now, these are the latest images that show American officials bringing Maduro and his wife to court. In fact, American troops and officers from the Drug Enforcement Administration, or the DEA, were also seen in these visuals that came a few hours back. A motorcar arrived at the New York courthouse with high security arrangements in place. The visuals on your screen also show the moment when American military brought Maduro from prison to take him to the courthouse. Maduro can be seen in shackles as soldiers bring him out of a helicopter and then put him in an armored vehicle. American troops were also seen escorting Maduro's wife. Remember, she, along with the deposed president, were both wearing brown overalls. Both were brought in separate vehicles. This is the first time that we see Celia Flores since the capture and transfer by American forces 2 days back. Protests have been unfolding outside the courthouse, with many holding banners demanding Maduro's release. Thousands of miles away in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, citizens are gathering to witness the inauguration of a new legislative year, as Delcy Rodriguez is recognized as Venezuela's interim president. Amid this sweeping political overhaul, many are calling for elections in the country. Meanwhile, on the diplomatic front, an emergency UN Security Council meeting is currently underway for discussing the American intervention and military operation in Venezuela. On behalf of the UN Chief, Under-Secretary General has called for member states to adhere to the UN Charter.
In situations as confused as complex as the one we now face, it is important to stick to principles. Respect for the UN Charter and all other applicable legal frameworks to safeguard peace and security. Respect for the principles of sovereignty, political independence, and territorial integrity of states.
Russia's envoy to the United Nations has called on United States to release Nicolás Maduro and his wife. Russia has repeatedly affirmed its support for Venezuela. Let me go across to Susan Tehrani. She has been tracking these court proceedings in New York. She's joining us live at the moment. Susan, where is Maduro and his wife? Where have they been kept at the moment? Has the hearing begun?
They're actually in the building behind me. They were brought here from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, just a few miles away. Of course, we saw those images and our viewers witnessed those images. They're here, they're being processed. They're going to be arraigned in front of a judge in about an hour's time. The process is expected to be very quickly, but as of now, they are in this building behind me and they will have their charges read to them. Prosecutors will talk to the judge and tell them how long they need to put this case together, although this is a case that has been ongoing and since the first Trump administration all the way to the Biden administration and the second administration. It's going to be a very quick process, but nonetheless, the trial and the case itself will drag on to 2027, if not even further.
Gotten by the DEA and Army officials, still the New York courthouse. There was tight security arrangement. We also have protesters outside the courthouse demanding the release of Nicolás Maduro. Get us more on these security arrangements that have been put in place there.
This is a very highly secured location. It took us a very long time to even get in front of this courthouse. Multiple stops, the NYPD, not only the DEA, but also the FBI is also monitoring the situation and keeping this corridor safe. I know you mentioned that there are pro-Venezuelan protesters. I have a lot of cameras in front of me. I can't pan right now, But there are a lot of anti-Maduro protesters in front of the courthouse as well, waving the American flag along with the Venezuelan flag. And because the numbers became so high, the NYPD decided to put a corridor between those who are protesting for the release of Maduro and then those who are in support of Maduro being detained.
All right, Susan, thanks very much for joining us at the moment and getting us the latest from New York. Of course, we'll keep touching base with you as the hearing proceeds. Thank you very much.